The rapidly changing media environment, modern technologies including artificial intelligence and new ways of communication raise questions about the relevance of teaching methods in media-related professions in synergy with sustainable development goals. This discourse concerns not only the environmental aspects of media activity, but also ethics and work culture, organizational models, professional responsibility, equality, integration, inclusiveness, and well-being. How should we educate future journalists, public relations specialists, media relations specialists, and other media professionals? How can we build the skills of the future in a friendly and responsible media environment? The SUMID, Sustainable Multidimensional Media Contents, international project responds to educational needs in the media environment and civilizational challenges related to sustainable development. It integrates the perspective of sustainable development with media education through the development of educational programs, pilot courses, and cross-sector cooperation.
In our SUMID project, funded by Erasmus+, we intervened into the way we train journalists at universities, but also engaged universities with multi-stakeholders. We looked at programs, we looked at service learning in which students go out of academia and work with working life to become more aware of sustainability. So in the project we tackled greenwashing that goes on both in companies and in media serving these companies. And we looked at possibilities of turning journalists into problem solvers. So we, for instance, offered a program for teaching solution journalism. This was all possible because we inspired each other, the participating universities, we shared good practices, and we documented this so the new generations of students could benefit.
One element of the SUMID project activities was to develop specific solutions to assist in modifying existing or creating new curricula that take into account aspects of sustainable development in media-related fields of study. As a result of these activities, new or modified curricula were developed on the basis of which 11 pilot courses for students were conducted as part of the entire project. 7 courses were also conducted for students, taking into account the professional media environment and external partners. In total, almost 500 students took part in the pilot courses and learning environment pilots. At the University of Gdańsk, work on preparing pilot classes began with a review of subjects and syllabi in the field of journalism and social communication at the Institute of Media, Journalism and Social Communication at the University of Gdańsk. All pilot courses prepared and conducted at the University of Gdańsk as part of the SUMID project have a practical dimension. The project method proved to be the most effective in achieving the educational goals, but other teaching methods were also used, including individual and teamwork, discussion, problem-solving in crisis situations, multimedia presentations, and simulations of professional situations, workshops.
The media world is changing faster than ever. New technologies and new ways of communications appear every day. These changes make us ask an important questions. Are our teaching methods in media studies still up to date? Especially when we think about sustainable development, not only technology, but also people and the environment. At the University of Gdańsk, we focus on all these aspects. We talk about friendly and healthy workplaces in media, about ethics and a good work culture, and about environmental impact. That's why our Institute of Media, Journalism and Social Communications joined the international SUMID project. During the 3 years of the project, we have achieved a lot. We have developed 6 pilot courses, from media and public relations to workshops in our radio and TV studios. Students learn through real projects, working side by side with media professionals. What's great is that students learned through hands-on experience in our modern media labs. We also organized workshops for university teachers and PhD students. about new teaching methods, well-being and nonviolent communications. Thanks to cooperation with our partners, we have shared good practices and learned from one another. We are finishing this stage with great satisfaction, but also with plans to continue building a modern and sustainable model of media education.
Practical classes were largely conducted in the modern laboratories of the University of Gdańsk: a television studio, a radio studio, a multimedia studio, and a photography studio. Meetings with external experts who conducted open workshops were an effective way of educating students. Journalists, PR experts, and media content creators were invited to the classes. Best practices in sustainable development have been introduced at the University of Gdańsk for many years in an evolutionary manner, taking into account all areas of the university's activities: science, teaching, organizational resources, and infrastructure development. Currently, these activities are coordinated and initiated by the Center for Sustainable Development, established at the University of Gdańsk as a separate unit. In general terms, these activities can be divided into several areas, including programs and projects, including the flagship Green University, education for environmental protection and sustainable development, including fields of study, increasing cultural awareness and disseminating information on sustainable development and environmental protection, well-being and a culture of respect, implementation of the principles of social responsibility of the university, cooperation with external stakeholders for sustainable development. The university's development directions in the field of sustainable development on the one hand facilitate the work and design of pilot courses, and on the other hand pose a considerable challenge to meet the goals adopted by the University of Gdańsk. Dynamic changes in the media, both in terms of technology and content resources, require new approaches to media education and media production methods. Constant changes in media trends affect the way content is created and how it reaches audiences. The SUMET project focuses on improving the skills of teachers and students in the context of the ever-changing world of media and new technologies, proposing new teaching methods and a catalog of best practices in this area. The main object is to promote sustainable development, technology, and digital solutions in the higher education sector by organizing courses and workshops for teachers and students and creating a common educational environment for teachers from 4 European universities, project partners. This provides all project participants with attractive tools for implementing new solutions in media education, which increases professional development opportunities, motivation, and satisfaction with daily work among teachers, students, and all partners and organizations involved in the project.
Hello, I'm from Turku University of Applied Sciences. My name is Milla Järvi-Petäjä. We have worked with the SUMET project now for 3 years, and SUMET enabled us to develop our curricula and courses to be more sustainable. We changed some of our processes during the project, and these processes enable us to integrate sustainability into our teaching, meaning that our processes are more sustainable. We have more support, more feedback elements integrated in our learning environments, and we are very, very happy about the development work done. But what comes to SUMET, as it's about to end now, but we want to enforce our development even in the future. We have courses related to sustainability, for instance, responsible media, where we want students to think about media's responsibilities, what comes to carbon emissions, and also ethics and ethical use of media. So SUMET enables us to foster our development work in learning environments, courses and curricula. And we are very happy to go on with this work in the future as well.
All activities are focused on media in the broad sense, including media education and production, media content creation, public relations strategies, including media relations, advertising, marketing, image creation, and market research. This is a response to both contemporary civilizational challenges and the needs of the environment. The result of the project is the creation of new teaching methods in the field of broadly understood media education, as well as the creation of new initiatives and the implementation of solutions supporting sustainable development.
It was a great pleasure for us to be part of the SUMET project for many reasons. First of all, we learned from our partners so many things with regards to the sustainable use of teaching materials, for example, to the point where in my department, which is the Department of Media and Communications at the University of Malta, where we actually produce films, where we produce magazines, we worked closely with the lecturers of the individual units in order to streamline the way they teach, the material they use, etc., while keeping the students firmly in mind, letting the students themselves lead with their ideas on sustainability. All of this came through the project. A project which brought so many different universities together and where each experience contributed to the pool of knowledge that we all got, actually helped us conceptualize things which were not conceptualizable at that point in time, at least not in Malta. And I'm extremely happy to say that the result is extremely positive.
The SUMET is an educational project implemented as part of an international partnership under the Erasmus+ program. Its priority, cooperation partnerships in higher education. The project partners are European universities, University of Gdańsk, Poland, Turku University of Applied Sciences, Finland, University of Malta, Universitat Polytechnics de Valencia, Spain. The project lasted 3 years, from November 1st, 2022 to October 31st, 2025.